Hello everyone and welcome to some more Pioneer content on the channel, and today we are going back to our roots. That is Insidious Roots, a card that was recently released in Murders of Karlov Manor, and a card that had a little bit of heat on it, but has really underperformed and not met expectations, maybe until today. So this particular list, I believe the first person that I saw, Magic Online user Diablo XSC, I think they're the first person that I saw playing this, and it kind of sort of exploded a little bit. It's been picking up in popularity and over the course of the league results and challenge results and prelims and all that stuff, and is maybe a bit of a different take on the black-green sacrifice deck that was popular a little while ago. But we have a couple of printings, a couple of new printings that we want to talk about here. So the core of the deck is Insidious Roots. It's a very powerful enchantment, and I'm willing to go on record and say that if the rule of 4 did not exist, say it was a rule of 8 where we could play 8 copies of any card in a deck, Insidious Roots, not going to say it would be the best deck, but it would be a lot better, because this deck really does rely on Insidious Roots. So it says, creature tokens you control have tap, add a mana of any color, and whenever one or more creatures' cards leave your graveyard, you make an 0/1 plant, and then you put a counter on each plant you control. So you want ways to have creatures leave your graveyard. There's a couple of ways that we can do that. So the first one, probably the most powerful one, Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. This is a planeswalker. You can, the static ability rather, says you can activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Very, very important when your plant tokens tap for mana, because the plant tokens that you make off roots can immediately be tapped. And then the +1 untaps a creature. We'll get to that one in a second. And the -2 is mill 3, then return a creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Creature leaving the graveyard. Why is that powerful? So you get the idea. Then there are a couple of other ways to do that. We have Scrapheap Scrounger, which is a 3/2 that can't block. You can pay 2 mana to exile another creature from your graveyard, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now there's a couple important things to remember with Scrapheap Scrounger. Insidious Roots has the text whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard. So for example, if you have 20 creatures in your graveyard and you somehow exile your entire graveyard, you only get 1 plant token. With Scrapheap Scrounger, it's a little bit different because there's 2 separate timings, I guess is the best way to put it, where the cost is exile a creature from your graveyard. So you pay the cost, which is exile a creature, Roots triggers before the ability resolves. You get a token off the creature leaving the graveyard, and then you resolve the Scrapheap Scrounger, which gives you a second token off the Roots because they're 2 separate instances, one for cost and one for ability. So pretty powerful with Roots. Agatha Soul Cauldron, which does so much in this deck. It's graveyard hate. That's first and foremost. If your opponent's playing a Phoenix deck, Cauldron your Phoenix, get it out of the graveyard, don't have to worry about that anymore. The other thing that it does, puts counters on your creatures, but more importantly, Insidious Roots puts a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control when it triggers. Agatha Soul Cauldron gives all creatures with +1/+1 counters abilities. So, say for example, the most important ability in this deck, Priest of Forgotten Gods. So if you have a Priest of Forgotten Gods under an Agatha Soul Cauldron, every single plant token that you make is another instance of Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So you can kind of see how this gets out of control pretty quickly. Priest is an extremely powerful card, so 1/2 for 2. You can sacrifice 2 other creatures to have any number of target players each lose 2 life. Sack a creature, you gain 2 black mana, and you draw a card. The tap ability, which, going back to Tyvar, untapping creatures, pretty good with Priest of Forgotten Gods. And, again, if you have a Priest under the Cauldron, just any creature is a Priest. Tyvar, good with that as well. The other important card, and this is a recent printing that I want to discuss here, is Forsaken Miner. This is a 2/2 for 1 that can't block. Whenever you commit a crime, you can pay a black and return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Why do we want to return cards from our graveyard to the battlefield? See where this is going. So one important thing that I want to note about Forsaken Miner is with Priest of Forgotten Gods, a lot of people might think that, okay, so Priest of Forgotten Gods says sacrifice 2 creatures, any number of target players each lose 2 life and sack a creature. So there is a timing window on this where if you say sacrifice 2 Forsaken Miners, the Forsaken Miners will actually trigger before the Priest of Forgotten Gods ability resolves to give you the 2 black mana, because paying cost, which is part of paying the cost, is choosing targets, right? So you choose the target before the ability resolves. Forsaken Miner gets triggered, which means you need to pay black before you actually resolve the Priest ability. So keep that in mind, where if you're tapped out, you might not want to sacrifice Forsaken Miner because you won't be able to get it back off the Priest ability. Another important card here is Deathrite Shaman. So Deathrite Shaman is, for all intents and purposes, one of the best 1-drops ever printed, but really hasn't found a home in Pioneer. I think this might be the home for it, because you have a lot of self-mill, right? You have Stitcher Supplier and Satyr Wayfinder, both which, look through a bunch of cards, help you mill over and mill more food for the Deathrite Shaman. So it's Mana Acceleration, lets you turn 2 Tyvar, has a good activated ability for Agatha Soul Cauldron, and lastly, but certainly not least, it also commits crimes for Forsaken Miner, because you don't have a ton of ways to commit crimes, but you have more than you would think, right? So you have the Fatal Pushes, that's kind of the obvious one, destroy a creature, target a creature. You have Agatha Soul Cauldron, which can target cards in their graveyard, Deathrite Shaman, which can target cards in their graveyard, and don't forget about this, Tyvar says untap up to 1 target creature, not creature you control. So you can commit crimes with Tyvar to get back Forsaken Miner, start the loop, trigger roots, all that stuff. So we talked about briefly the self-mill enablers, Supplier, and Wayfinder. I think Wayfinder is pretty good. Most of the lists that I've seen don't have this card, but it looks at 4 and it picks up a land, and this deck has a lot of things to do with its mana, so I think it's worth it. But Supplier is the best one because it mills 6, it's 1 mana. This is by far the best for what you're getting in terms of, actual cards in the graveyard for the amount of mana that you're spending. And then running at the deck with Fatal Push, we have Thoughtseize in the sideboard. I chose to go with Fatal Push main deck. That could be, you could swap those around. Maybe Thoughtseize is better. Not entirely sure. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, and you kind of end up in a spot where this deck a lot of times just kind of combo kills people out of nowhere, where you have Priest plus Forsaken Miner going, and maybe even alongside Roots, and you can go, Priest, sacrifice the 2 miners, say you have 2 untapped black, get them both back, trigger Roots. If you have Cauldron going, maybe you have Tyvar going, there's just a lot of different situations and ways that you can really just kill people from out of nowhere. And last but not least, we have 1 copy of Kaervek the Punisher. This card's decent. Again, as we talked about, you do commit a good amount of crimes, but it is kind of expensive, so I only chose to go with 1 copy. And then Honest Rutstein. This thing, it does a couple of things. It gives you discount on Wayfinder, Priest, and Scrounger, which can be important. It also triggers Roots because it's a creature card leaving your graveyard, so it does a couple of nice things for this deck. Mana base, nothing too crazy going on here. I will say we have 2 Boseijus as opposed to 1 because this card commits crimes, so good at getting back Forsaken Miner, but nothing too crazy to talk about in the mana base. And then kind of the same with the sideboard. Thoughtseize when you want to swap out Fatal Push against control decks. Knight of Dusk Shadow, you don't want to Molly to gain life. 2nd copy of Kaervek for those grindy matchups. Haywire Might, good against Leyline Binding, Temporary Lockdown, all that kind of stuff. Pick your poison, good against Niv. Vampires, Damping Sphere, good against Lotus. Fatal Push, good against creatures. Sideboard is relatively self-explanatory. But yeah, this deck was a ton of fun. I've tried a bunch of different Insidious Roots decks, and I think this one's really, really close. Maybe not quite there, but definitely check out the games. And with all of that said, I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. We're playing against the Girth God. What is the Girth God up to? Of course Girth God is playing mono red. Girth God somehow not Gurking it. They definitely Gurk it in Standard. What are my thoughts on Seasons Past and the Bronco mid deck that Tandy is testing? I don't know what the Bronco mid deck is, and I think Seasons Past is a meme. Get greedy and hope to hit a land. I mean, I really want to play Supplier this turn. I guess the worst case scenario, if we miss, we just push one of their creatures. So it's really not even that bad. Okay, and we hit, which is kind of huge. Yeah, we're definitely going to play the Roots this turn. I just want to get this into play as early as possible. And then next turn I can go something like land, push their creature, eat it with Deathrite, trigger this, maybe Cauldron something. We'll see what happens. Have I locked in Golgari for the RC? I think so. It's just like, I don't know. I've tried so many other decks, and they just don't feel as consistent or powerful as Golgari. Just everything I try, I always go back to the well, you know? We got the graveyard. We can get back Supplier. Okay, let's think about this. Tyvar, rebuy Supplier, make a token, and just kind of chill. The other alternative is push, activate Deathrite, but then I also can't play the Cauldron. I think I'm just going to play the Tyvar this turn, because I can Tyvar and push, which is good. I would like to use the ability. We get back Wayfinder. Trigger the roots. Oh, right. We can also make mana off the Wayfinder. I kind of forgot about that. Or a mana off of this, which we can use to bring back the Scrounger and also cast the Fatal Push. God, this deck is so sick. Yeah, they're just off it. Damn, dude. Okay, that was nice. That was pretty good. All right, mono red. Give me a Fatal Push. Kaervek is probably not great. Just paying life against them is kind of sus. How good is Pick Your Poison against these red decks? Kills Kumano and Slickshot, huh? Seems like it's probably too narrow. Maybe the first copy is good, but I don't want to ever draw the second copy. I mostly just want to get this Honest Rutstein out of here. I just want to lower my curve. That's all. Sand's nice. I mean, I guess the one thing that the sand is missing is self-mill. Like, this hand really needs a Supplier or a Wayfinder. Chat, does anybody know the lyrics to the song? Anybody at all in chat know the lyrics to the song? Like, one sphere? One damping sphere? Why would I do that? I've seen some people play Thrillseeker in this deck before. I think it's a little too cute. You just don't need it. Slickshot's kind of scary. It's scary. And there's not a lot I can do about it. We just have to play this and cross our fingers. Alright, Preach time. Preach time. I just took out the batteries, and I don't remember which one's which. Nobody has said the lyrics to the song yet. Hold, please. Hold, please. Damn it. Alright, we've lost. We've died. Oh, sevens. Draw push, I guess. It's definitely not Fatal Push. Oh my god, our creature gets exiled because of this fucker. Alright, well what if they have no spells in hand? Is Souls of the Lost good in this shell? Souls of the Lost is kind of awkward because you kind of want to exile a lot of your creatures to Scrapheap or Deathrite to trigger roots. So there's kind of some anti-synergy there. Surely they have nothing, right? Not that I think it matters. I think we're dead regardless. Well, that's not true. Hold on. We can figure this out. I think I cannot afford to pay for the Forsaken Miner. Because I have to draw push. Although, even if I draw push, I'm still just dead, right? I push this and just die to the Kumano. Alright, game 3. Yeah, I don't know. Souls is kind of interesting, but I just think it's too awkward with the amount of things that you have that exile creatures from your graveyard. Okay. That sounds good. I'll play Supplier first. Would you play a league with a Doomthor wig? If somebody made me a Doomthor wig, I'm sure I'd do it for a sub goal. It's the most subs. What's the most song requests you've gotten in a day? Probably today, honestly. I don't actually need a land for next turn, so I'm just gonna play this. We had so many today. We really shouldn't, though. Considering if I want to block this turn, I think I'd rather wait. I can get more than one life out of my Supplier. Like, if next turn they go, like, spell pre-combat, then I can block and do stuff that way. I think I am going to Tyvar here. Mostly just because I want to have it in play for next turn. Oh. Well, that also works. It's not bad. I guess we take those, huh? Cast this, cast this. Oh, wait, I could have played Wayfinder. Whoops. I should have played Wayfinder instead. We're requesting songs today. You must be late to the stream. Yeah, chat requested a lot of songs earlier. I think we probably had, like, at least 30 song requests over the course of a while. It was a lot. Yeah, the Deathrite could have tapped for mana immediately because of the tie bar. And that was almost certainly better than playing Forsaken Miner. Alright, well, all my shit's dead. They probably should kill tie bar here, right? Yeah, they are. Miss Shaman activate? What, for a mana that doesn't do anything? This is awkward. I can get back the priest this turn, but I can't use it. I think I have to double Wayfinder. Give me a land, please. Well, I found a land. Stupid mortuary. It doesn't do anything. I did find a land. It has more modes. I didn't have mana. You can't just tap Deathrite Shaman to drain. You need to have mana to use the ability. I was tapped out. It's really bad for me. Kind of need like a fatal push. Like right now. It's not quite a fatal push. Okay, so let's go here. Minus. How many pushes have I milled? Down 2 pushes. I mean, it's still just this, right? Can I afford to pay for the Forsaken Miner is the question. I don't think I should, because I have 2 spells to cast anyways. I'm going to say no. It's my last tie bar. Okay, unfortunately that is not push. I think we are in trouble. We've almost milled our entire deck at this point. I guess I could have played this to shock them. Or no, I should have played the Waste to get back the Scrounger, right? Although if I do that, I go to 7. Still don't have a good block on the Ferocidon. I'm in a rough spot either way. Pioneer RCQ this Sunday for my tiny town. Going to be a sweaty tryhard with Phoenix. I mean, yeah, you should just be playing Phoenix. That's what I've been suggesting. Everybody who comes into chat and asks me what they should play in an RCQ, I just play Phoenix. Like, there's really no other deck to play. I assume everything is coming at me. What is my out? Do I even have an out? Go to 2? I don't know. I probably don't have an out. I guess the out is... We have 1 push left, right? 1, 2, 3. I have exactly 1 fatal push left. And I think I have to draw it right now. And then, honestly, I still might die to the dead, even if I draw... Oh, they have this, too, right? Alright, let's pretend like I have an out. Okay, you ready for the sickest line ever? You're gonna like this line. Okay, hear me out. Ready? The line is, hold control, activate Deathrite Shaman. Priority, activate Priest, sack these 2. They sack this, rip push, push this, then this resolves, go to 3. But then I just died to dead at that point. Not true, because I can untap the Priest. Activate, hold priority, this, sack these 2. Drop push, they sack this, push this, gain 2, go to 3, untap, chump block, go to 2. I guess there's no reason not to bring this back in this scenario. Oh, that was the reason. I figured out the reason, but I've run the push. I wouldn't run the push anyways. I found the reason not to bring it back, huh? Look, I was dead anyways, okay? Sure. Did I set it for... I set it for 10 gifted, I think. It is a clip that will play if we get 10 gifted subs. So if you want to hear the canister clip, there is a way to do that. Most of the bad stuff that happens to me is canister's fault. What clip? Well, you're going to have to find out. There's only one way to find out. Canister is unaware. He lacks the critical information necessary. He does not know about the clip. This is a Pepe loss situation. Three mana. What do you got for me, Pipers? Kia ora. Kia ora. It's better to Scrounger from the graveyard or Cauldron. It's probably better to Scrounger. Kind of just want more creatures in the graveyard. That's not bad. That one is not bad. Need to find a Tyvar. Tyvar lets us cook. Is Green Devotion back on the menu? I saw Azax won a challenge with this deck. I wondered if it was good. Unfortunately, that is neither a Tyvar or a Priest. All right, I have a line. Don't know if it's a good line, but it is a line. Then I guess we just chill? Yeah, I think I'd rather block with the Supplier than attack with it. I could, attack with both to get 1 damage through, but it just doesn't accomplish that much. Listening to my stream has made me want to go back to a rave. I feel like I've accomplished something today. Outcaster Trailblazer. Man, that thing triggers Kiora. That's kind of sick. This card's good. It's like gives you more Kioras. Redundancy on your Kiora effect. Seems kind of nice. We can maybe still cook if we can find a Priest. I guess the issue is we have to get the Priest into the graveyard somehow to do it this turn, which I don't exactly know how we're doing that. So many triggers. Bro, I'm triggered right now. I can't handle this amount of triggers. I can't do it. The trail has been successfully blazed. It's a lot of shit. Opponent's got 8 cards in hand. Nykthos active. All right. Chow, I'm gonna take a nap. You let me know. Wake me up when they're done, okay? Wake up yet? Oh, no, I have to respond. I don't want to. Oh, stop. You can't make me. Folks, did you know, while my opponent is killing me, did you know that you can subscribe to twitch.tv/doomwake for free? Utilizing an Amazon Prime subscription, it is the best way to support the content, and it is of no cost to you. All right, I've now awoken. I have awoken, and I don't know what we're doing now. Well, how many storms they have left? They have 2 storms in the graveyard. Guess this. Scrapheap Scrounger. Forsaken Miner. I guess I might as well do this main phase. Let's do this. Cast. Not that I can trigger the roots this turn, but... go. Just block with Forsaken Miner, if only. If only we could do that. Alright, now I can go back to sleep, right? You understand the Kaervek now? Yeah, Kaervek is good if they kill your, roots. Alright, back to bed. Back to bed, chat. Everybody go to sleep. Bed. Bro, how am I not dead yet? What is going on? That is correct. This is not standard. This is Pioneer. This is also game 1. I guess the question is, why am I still playing this game? Yeah, Kaervek rebuying roots is kind of sick. I mean, I did some stuff this game. None of it's even close to good enough, but I did some stuff this game. Just attack with all. 5, 9, 4, 8, 12, 17. 17 is not 18. Math checks out. Math does, in fact, check out. Okay. So my out is draw Tyvar and mill Priest. God damn it. I did that in the wrong order! Oh my god, I could have actually won this game. I think I maybe could have killed them if I did this in the other order. I think they were dead to Tyvar plus Priest. That's why I didn't concede this game, by the way. Oh, I can commit a crime with Cauldron, Kaervek back the Tyvar. Oh, wait, I maybe still have them dead. Hold on. Let me cook a little bit, okay? Let me cook a little bit. They still might be dead. Hold please, hold please. Kaervek costs life. Oh. Right. Never mind. Actually, as a matter of fact, they're not dead. Let me tell you that. They're not dead. Look, I was dead anyways, okay? It didn't matter. Just pretend that it didn't matter, okay? I was dead either way. Yeah, the Sphere of the Damping variety. I think I want a fourth push too. Maybe I want the Thoughtseize. Do I perhaps want Thoughtseize over push? Maybe I want Thoughtseize over Wayfinder. How extremely busted is mono green? I mean, I'm sure it's just the same as it was before in terms of its matchups, right? Like, I don't know. If they kill your elf, your deck just sometimes doesn't function. That sounds good. The Soul Flare list I found from Moto. I think it was a top 8 of one of the challenges. Yeah, I mean, I could have blocked one more creature, but I kind of was not thinking about drawing specifically. I don't know why I shocked there. I was thinking about playing the Priest this turn, but I'm not going to. I wasn't thinking about, like, milling over Tyvar off of the Supplier and needing life to cast it with Kaervek, but I probably should have thought about that. Yeah, Mono Green seems like it gets dumpstered by Amalia, because you can't interact with them and you're nowhere near fast enough. And you don't even have an out to, like, Karn for a good, like, Karn for Torpor or something like that. You don't even have access to that anymore. So that matchup does seem quite bad for green. Priest was a good draw. Or sorry, Supplier was a decent draw. I would rather have a land, I guess, but I can live with the Supplier. Yeah, green seems not great against Phoenix either. Okay, so play Miner. No, play Supplier, because then I could just play Tyvar. Rebuy, right? The other option is could like play Miner, sack, use this to get it back, 2 black, play Damping Sphere instead of deploying Tyvar. Is that better? I could also go Supplier, sack both, 3 mana, play Miner and Roots. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I think that's better actually. So we go here, sack these 2. Mill a million. And then we just get the Roots into play for next turn. Oh, true. We haven't played a land yet either. So now we can actually do both. We can go, okay, now that I'm gonna save the Tyvar activation for next turn. Now that I've done this, because I want to go Roots before I Tyvar. I think this is better. Yeah, Soul Flare is gonna be up next. Alright, maybe should have played the Sphere last turn. Probably should have played the Sphere last turn. I could have played... I guess I could have gone Root Sphere and not played either of these. That might have been better. It's not bad. Okay, so plan here is cast this. Yeah, I think that was the individual. I think it was Yusei Max. I don't have mana to rebuy both Miners. I could have played the Boseiju first and left up double black. Just get this back, probably. Actually, no, I did, right? Because I could have used the plant token for the Miner. Okay, maybe that was better. So... Oh, I have more Miners in the graveyard, right, okay. I have 2 in the graveyard. So let's go black, black. Do this, I think? And then only get back 2 of them, and then use the 2 black mana from the Priest to play the Damping Sphere. I think this makes sense. Yeah, then we can go play Boseiju, play Deathrite, and then play Damping Sphere. I guess I could have held the Boseiju. I didn't need to play the Boseiju to play the Sphere because I had these for mana. So maybe it was better to hold this. Yeah, I could have held the Boseiju, and then I would have still had enough mana to do basically everything else too. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Go here. Might as well do this now, I guess. And this is worse, because doing it this way means I have a smaller token, right? Because I could have just done this and then chump block with the smaller roots token. That's probably a little bit better. Some weird sequencing stuff. I don't know if any of it matters, because I think they're probably just dead next turn. Or pretty damn close to it. Isn't getting a third back giving you an extra another plant? Well, I didn't have a third black mana. That's the problem, right? Because at the time where I triggered the 3 miners, I only had 2 black sources, right? Or no, I guess I made the plant before the third trigger resolved, so I guess I could have used the plant that I made the trigger at the third time. Yeah, maybe you're right. Can I brew up Pioneer Mill? It's a tough one. Right, now I can use the plant token to activate the Deathrite. Okay. We're learning. We are learning. I have 2 mana left, but nothing to do with it. So now we go, I guess, play this. Okay, they're off it. This deck's nice. When you draw a Damping Sphere against mono green, it's nice, rather, I should say. I think we've caught up on most of them. Elf. Nope. Cannot cast that one, unfortunately. Milled Scrapheap. It's not bad. Alright, give me a Plague Engineer. Not a Plague Engineer. Alright, brace me. I should have attacked first. I mean, they're never going to block, but I should have attacked first. So many elves. Why are you calling a judge? You don't have to do that. Perfectly legal at FN. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Untap Elf Pass. Okay. Supplier me. No Forsaken Miners yet, unfortunate. Give me a Tyvar. Tyvar would be a sick draw. Milled more Scroungers. It's not bad either. Push an Elf. Play a Deathrite. Hold up Scrounger. It's a good turn. 'Tis a good turn. God, they drew a land so lucky. So lucky. It's okay, we'll draw Tyvar next turn. Any Tyvars? If we Tyvar, we can activate the Priest twice, which I guess is not... Well, actually, no. Wow, Priests are really good against the... Well, the Shaman is good against the Troll, I should say. We have that lineup if they sack the Troll. It's kind of hot. It's not bad either. Yeah, let's do this. Let's play this first. Go here. Sack these 2. Pay the mana for this, leave up the wastes. And then if they sack the Troll, we can eat the Troll with the Shaman. Because we still have the wastes up. So now they kind of have to sack the Elf. Do they know? Do they know, chat? It appears that they might not know. Maybe they just didn't have any other option. Just put some more shit into play, I guess. Alright, you may proceed. The benefit of no one playing Deathrite Shaman? Yeah, I know, right? If you've never played against Deathrite before, oh my god, are we going to run it back? Well, I mean, they know now, so they're not going to do it. Surely they wouldn't do it again, right? That would never happen. Surely they wouldn't do it again. There's no possible way they would do it again. Is that good? I don't actually know if that's good. I don't really have anything good to use with it, right? Their Kiora's on 5. I think we do this first and just get back to miners. See where we go from there. You can sacrifice your own priest. How? Explain your work? Oh, you're saying I could target myself? I guess I could have targeted myself. I didn't think about that. Could have done that. I don't know if that's worth it, though. I had not considered that line, though. So, like, sacrifice this, Cauldron the priest, then I could put the counter here and then do it again. Actually, it probably was worth it. Yeah, no, you're right. That probably was worth it. I'm just going to do this so I can activate Deathrite this turn. I'm getting to the point where I can just attack them with all my creatures, and they're pretty close to dead, right? Depending on how many blockers they play this turn. Yeah, I can also make another Shaman. No, that line probably was good. That's scary. Leyline of the Guildpact. Makes a lot of devotion. They can untap their Nykthos. They probably have Storm in hand. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Or I'm sure they have some sort of expensive card, because they've been missing on land drops. Looks like it is Storm. Okay. Not quite as bad as Storm for me. Dude. They stack the triggers right, too. Well, actually, I was going to say if they hit Nykthos, do they have enough devotion to just cast the Storm before I get priority? They would, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Yeah, they have more than enough mana. You always draw. Well, specifically in this instance, it's important they stacked it the way they did. Have they played a land yet? Yeah, they played Nykthos this turn, so I don't have to respond, and I don't have to eat this yet. But what I'm saying is that if they stacked it the other way, they would mill the Storm before the draw, and I would get a window to activate to exile Storm before they could cast it. So they had to do it that way. I have no miners in the graveyard, right? No. Okay, so let's get back Scrapheap. Let me think about this. Yeah, this is fine. So we go Scrapheap, get back, exile the Storm. And I mean, I could make more mana, I guess. I don't know how relevant the green mana is, but it could be relevant. Maybe I should just... I'm worried about exiling the Shaman and not having fuel for the Scrounger again. I want to keep my last creature for now. I just don't know if I need to do that. Counter on this, I guess. But now we can do the double priest line. Oh, the mana actually could be relevant if I want to like get back this and have more mana available. All right, so let's do this. Well, hold on a second. Let me think about this. So sacrifice these two, pay 2 black, get them both back. I sack this, tap, exile this, 11. I can't quite kill them this turn, right? Yeah, I can activate priest 3 times, which is 6, plus the Deathrite is 8. It's not quite lethal. It's close. I do like this deck, yeah. Alright, let's do it like this. So sack these two. Get them both back. I'll sack this. That's a pretty good draw. It's quite a good draw. Wait, where did my priest go? Why is my priest all the way up here when it was the last card that went to my graveyard? Does that make any sense? You won't get them back if you target yourself. No, because you're also targeting them. So you're still committing a crime. I guess we go counter here. And then we go you, these two. I just want to find Tyvar. Really just want to find Tyvar here. Okay. Go here. Pay. I have demonstrated a loop. I guess I eat the troll, right? It's kind of free. Just cuts them off devotion. I guess cutting them off devotion doesn't matter if I'm casting Sphere this turn. Ideally, I would like to hold up Boseiju. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? I was going to say hold up Boseiju for this, but it probably doesn't matter. Because I have a blocker. So we can just do it this way. So they would have to have, like, Boseiju for Sphere and stuff. I don't even know how they get out of this. And we have a blocker. Alright, that was hot. That was sick. Kaervek looks bad. I think it's okay as a one-of. The theory behind it is you can rebuy Roots, or if you mill over Roots with Supplier, you can get it back, but I don't know. Maybe it's a little too cute. Could just be like a sideboard option. This is my 6-card hand. This is close. Alright, I believe that we can draw a second land. Because second land means we have 3rd and 4th covered. I could have even considered putting one of these back. Could run the MDFC, which gets a card from graveyard. Balagid Recovery. You just can't really afford to play tap lands. You have too many 1s and 2s that you kind of have to play on curve. Actually, casting Deathrite might have been bad that turn. Unless they, like, play a 2-drop and I mill a land with Deathrite. Like, how greedy do I get here? Is Satyr Wayfinder a May? It is. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna get greedy. Actually, am I? I could just go push plus Forsaken Miner. Is Mosswood bugged still? I have no idea. I didn't even know it was bugged to begin with. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not gonna block with Shaman, so I might as well attack with it. show. What was the bug with Mosswood Dread Knight? I have no idea what Deadly Brew does. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Alright, give me a Wayfinder. Wayfinder me. Well, that's awkward. Sure is awkward, isn't it? I was really hoping we would hit 2 lands. I guess it's not that likely we hit 2 lands off Wayfinder here. Now I'm kind of in a rough spot. I have Questing Druid. If I attack Questing Druid, it's kind of bad for me. I'm just going to wait. BG Sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If you sacrificed a permanent this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to your... It's okay. I don't hate it. It's not the worst card. Thoughts on today's spoilers? There's some bangers. The set looks pretty sweet. I am very, very excited to get into the lab with MH3. So, I know. Don't tell Spike though. Whatever you do, do not tell Aspiring Spike that I have just said those words. Don't do it. Please don't do it. I don't want to... I've been caught, okay? I've been caught. It is what it is. We had a good run. We had a good run, folks. Well... I guess we're casting spells and seeing what they're doing. Oh, the Reminder Text and Gatherer. That's a banger. That's an all-timer right there. How do you feel about Mill getting a 1-mana creature counterspell? Is that even good? Like, would you play that in Mill? I guess you might. Maybe you would. It's probably okay. You seem very excited about it. Yeah, here, and hope they have no spells. Guess I could also block with the Priest, but chump block here. No, they just don't have spells. It's fine. They do not have a single spell in their hand. I believe, all right. I believe that my opponent does not have a spell. They, in fact, do have a spell. Is that lethal? I can do the math. It is. DED dead. All right. Mono red, aka Gruul. We thought about Pick Your Poison last time, but it's only good against Kumano and Slickshot Show Off, so probably not worth it. Cut these two. No, we brought in 1 copy. I think the first one is good, but I don't want to draw multiples against them. Integer Devour, thank you very much for the 8-month resub. Are we getting a Golden Kappa train going? Devour, thank you for the 8 months. We actually get to play Kappa Cannoneer in Modern now. That one I'm excited for. Okay, what is my favorite card spoiled today? Oh, that white card. That white broken card. Let me show you. I will show you my favorite card spoiled today. This card seems nuts to me. Right? Am I crazy? Seems really good. Because even if you're not playing with any other energy generators, it's just white, destroy all sagas and construct tokens. Seems really, really good. And it's also X or less, which, I don't know, it seems really like a really good sideboard card. I think I am not blocking. Kind of want to save Fatal Push for a Slickshot Show Off. I also am confident enough that I'm not blocking that I'm actually just going to attack here, because I want to keep the Supplier in play in case I, like, mill over... Well, maybe that's bad. If I mill over Priest, I can just Cauldron the Priest and put the counter on something else. Okay, well, kind of like a good thing I waited. Question is, do I Cauldron now? Yeah, probably. It's weird. I might want to end up sacrificing the Supplier. Well, maybe that changes things. Oh, that's a good point. I guess if I had held back the Supplier, I could have used this to exile the Shaman and then have this up for mana. Maybe that was better. I'm gonna play Tyvar first and minus. I think I'm minusing. Get back Supplier. We hit Scrapheap and another Deathrite. So now I can just do everything, right? Because I have 2 lands in the graveyard. We can go here, make green. Pip you. Sacrifice creature with flying. And then I think what I should do is Cauldron now, so they can't respawn and kill the Supplier. I think that makes sense. And then I can use this to exile the land and push this. But I don't have to push now. I can wait to see if they want to do something first. Show off. Okay. I wonder if they're going to kill the Supplier. They might just send both at Tyvar. Could declare a block too. Ooh, I like this. This is really good for me. Alright, Deathrite Shaman's not a mana ability. I always forget that. This worked out pretty well for me. Actually, maybe it didn't work out well for me. now that I say it, maybe it didn't work out that well for me. How did you end up finding Pioneer Merfolk? It was decent. I like the deck. Would consider working on it. The combo of like Pilgrimage plus Kumena and Copter was kind of sick. We're just racing, trying to think if it's better to... Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, that's probably just better, right? And get 2 Scrapheaps into play. Yeah, and then just go here, pass, hold up the other Scrapheap. Hall of the Death Dweller seems like a good sideboard option. Against what? It's control. Well, the issue with the control matchups is a lot of them have heavy graveyard hate. So it is much weaker in the post-board games when they have graveyard hate. I take it all. Alright, I'm at 3. You ever been at 3 before? We'll be fine. I will be fine. We have no creatures left to Cauldron. Get that Monstrous Rage out of here. Yeah, I did like a Fatal Push or something. It'd be good if I had a Tyvar in play. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Yeah, we're just dead, right? Dobbs on board. Just surveying my options. Which it appears we don't have any options. Slickshot's a hell of a card, huh? Moto, please. Magic Online, please do not do this. I'm trying to concede the game. There we go again. That matchup feels kind of tough, doesn't it? I'm beginning to think this deck might not have enough lands. Saying slow, but I guess we can keep it. Actually, I can just hit my 3rd land drop with Wayfinder. I'll do it this way. This deck is really reliant on the 1-drops. Under City Sewers. Deadly Cover-Up Gamer, huh? We're going to be here for a while. We are going to be here for a long time. Cover-Up does seem pretty good in this matchup. Satoru specifically seems pretty good in that deck. You have enough ways to trigger it, right? With, like, Grief, Vengevine, Amalgam, Narcomoeba. You have a lot of ways to trigger it. Reveals Thoughtseize. Okay, I guess we should do this before they counter it. We're not putting a ton of pressure on Narset for what it's worth. I don't know if that matters. Kind of want to just hit more land drops. Let's do that. Well, never mind. As a matter of fact, I lied. I actually meant to say we're not going to hit land drops. I misspoke. That was my bad. That one's on me. Jace, reawakened. Opponent has exiled a Valki. They didn't play a land though, right? Alright. Hold. Hold, please. Hold, please, I repeat. So many things I can do. 2 Forsaken Miners in the graveyard. Alright, step 1. Go to combat. That's the easy part. Probably should attack Jace. And then we go 1, 2, Priest, Shock, target you, use the 2 tombs to get back the Forsaken Miners. And then we have 2 black left over, which I think means we should... I guess we can do it again, huh? It's kind of free. Still have 2 black. It's either Scrounger or Cauldron. I'm thinking of playing Scroungers to put more pressure in play when they play Valki next turn. Because I think what their turn's going to be is go Valki, down tick on this. And then we can just go, like, clear Valki, clear Jace, hit them for 2, do some stuff that way. 2 Bolt. The Cosmic Imposter. Chat, there is an imposter among us. I repeat, there is an imposter among us. Kind of sus. A little sus. Yeah, Tibalt does not seem phenomenal against our deck. It seems not great. They can't... I mean, they just, like, we go too wide for Tibalt. Yeah, they're looting. We have a looter. What do they reveal off Narset, by the way? Thoughtseize and Jace. Okay, we still know about the Thoughtseize, which... I guess that's maybe an argument to play the Cauldron, because I don't want them to Thoughtseize it. Alright, Cauldron down. That's why Hearse is, like, not that great against this deck, because if they Hearse your creatures, then you just get tokens off Roots. They did not kill the Forsaken Miner, or rather the Priest, sorry. I guess if they kill the Priest, I can just rebuy it off Tyvar, but it wouldn't have haste. Do I even really care about Tibalt? I'm thinking about just going upstairs. Honestly, kind of like it. I think I can kill them before they get the Tibalt ultimate. I think. Might be a bit dicey. Well, it's not that it does nothing, because the Roots would only trigger... Like, if they Ashiok your whole graveyard, Roots only triggers once, because it says whenever 1 or more, you know? So if you have 10 creatures in your graveyard, and they Ashiok you, you only get 1 creature off the Roots. So I wouldn't say that it does nothing. Sacrifices a Planeswalker. Not rude. So we can't untap the Priest now. So they go to 7. We go post-combat here. Sack these 2. Pay. Go to 5. Then I guess we just dump our hand? Not really much else I can do, right? Just play my hand. I feel like there's a chance we're going to get Deadly Cover-Upped, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, that shit would obviously suck. You think I can try to Boseiju them off black? Oh no, they just get a basic swamp. It doesn't do anything. There's no land off that. I think they have cover-up, but they just don't have the land. I think we made the right decision to go upstairs and just ignore Tibalt. Because, like, here's my issue, right? If I send everything at Tibalt that turn, even if Tibalt dies, I'm giving them an extra draw step to find the land for cover-up. And they're going to get to keep the Jace in play, which means they're going to get more looks at it anyways. So, I think it made sense to just go upstairs. Alright, control. Push out Thoughtseize in. These are bad, these are bad. This might be a rare Kaervek matchup. Cut like Rutstein, maybe? It's kind of weak against Graveyard Hate. And I do expect him to have a lot of Graveyard Hate post board. Maybe like 1 Satyr Wayfinder. Try something like that. Agatha Soul Cauldron is $51.
Bruh.
$51, by the way. You got $51? You know how many Prime subs that is? That is 10. Well, it's actually 0 Prime subs because Prime is free, but it's 10 Tier 1 subscriptions. Speaking of, Invested Zeratul, thank you for the 10-month resub. That is 1/10 of the way there, right? Math? 1/10 of the way to an Agatha Soul Cauldron. We're getting there. I might be able to buy 1 Agatha Soul Cauldron. Zeratul, thank you very much for the 10 months. All right, Supplier me. Why is this song such a banger? Okay, we have located good cards for the Kaervek. That helps. The deck is definitely missing something. What do you think it's missing? That'd be my question. It does feel close, though. Market on TCG is 30. I thought I saw 50. I think this deck is missing Dark Ritual. Path of Peril. Path of Peru. I think we just be mana efficient here. Tolarian, Raya, thank you for the 6 months. What's the command? I forget the command. What's the command? Pinchy? There it is. Exclamation point Pinchy in the chat. Thank you for the 6 months, Tolarian. Those who know, and those who don't know. Man, I would have drawn the Thoughtseize too if he didn't kill that Kaervek. Okay, opponent is on nothing. This is probably worse than just exiling and getting this back from the graveyard. Although maybe it's not, because I want to save this in case I draw roots. It's pretty good too. We do have to be a little bit careful about this. Like, they're not that far away from hauling us. Just gonna do it this way. Gonna eat the priest. Counter here. Jesus. Is it worth Thoughtseizing them? Because I can go Kaervek, Cauldron, eat one of their cards, Thoughtseize them. It's pretty good. Okay, so here's the question. If they drew Deadly Cover-Up, well, no, they would have just cast it, right? Because if they drew Cover-Up, they could just go Cover-Up, Exile 6, and then just get all the Scroungers. So I don't think their last card would be Cover-Up. Like, it just wouldn't make sense for it to be, right? Maybe I should still Thoughtseize them anyways? Oh, wait, I can... Oh my god, I can draw step Thoughtseize. I always forget about that. I always forget about that. You can draw step Thoughtseize with Kaervek, which is kind of gross. This deck heavily depends on roots in your opener. Well, that's kind of why I like Kaerveks, because you can just mill over roots and then Kaervek back the roots. All right, little draw step Thoughtseize action. That was nice. You got to admit that was nice. Don't know about this hand. Little sus. Ooh, this might be Phoenix. I kind of want to see how the Phoenix matchup is. Oh, never mind. I thought it was Phoenix. Is it Azorius Phoenix? How do I miss every time? The answer is there's only 20 lands in my deck. I'm gonna keep attacking you. Might just be a Cauldron Forsaken turn. I think it is. Because, like, okay, here's the thing. They're obviously going to counter the roots, but in a weird way, I think I would rather resolve the Tyvar. And the theory is that if I know they're going to counter the roots, or the Cauldron, I think I want to cast it that turn, and the turn that they're planning on casting Deluge, I want to play my more important threat. Because this one they're 100% going to counter, you know? I mean, they're probably going to counter this too, but if that makes sense. Okay, that's fine. Why are my control opponents so good at missing land drops? Jesus. It's probably just a priest angle, right? And I guess the issue is we know they have March, but I can go get back priest, combat 3 at Narset, 2 at them, second main, play Darkbore Pathway, sacrifice Wayfinder, Forsaken Miner, get back the Forsaken Miner, and then end on Miner, Priest. They'd be at 9, and I'd be up a card. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. But I do have to clear the Narset because I want to draw the extra card off this. What if I just didn't get the card, though? 2, 4, 5, 7, they go to 6. Is that better? And just ignore the fact that I'm drawing a card off Priest. So if I do that, they take 5, go to 8. Second main, I Priest them. They go to 6. I get back Miner. The Wayfinder dies. I think I probably want the card. I think the card's important. It's close, though. Just Fatal Push the Narset. Why didn't I think of that? How did I not think of that? Alright, go. So they march the Priest. And they take 4, go to 5. We still get to have the Tybar in play. Need Revolt. Well, I get Revolt off the Priest, right? It's annoying. Cauldron? I mean, theoretically, it's a good draw. I think, weirdly enough, we don't play the Roots this turn, because we know about March. Oh, maybe that's stupid, because if I don't play the Roots, they're just going to kill the Tyvar, right? We should play it, I think. Probably going to lose this game now. Although, as soon as we find Cauldron, we get back 2 Forsaken Miners, which is good. Can you imagine playing Westvale Abbey? I can imagine having Westvale Abbey in my opening hand with a basic Swamp, and having 2... like, I can't double spell on turn 2, you know, or something like that. It also doesn't cast Roots, which is kind of awkward. Alright. Pay for Normalize. They could have 3 steps ahead. I mean, is using the Tyvar now even worth it? I think I have to hold. I don't think I'm winning this game if I just lose the Tyvar this turn. Probably not winning anyways. But I think we have to hold. What is kind of hilarious about this is if they ever put a token into play, like if they Wandering Emperor make a token, then I can get back the miners. There's a Roots on top. Do I want that? I mean, Roots is good if I can eventually trigger this, but how am I doing that is the question. I'm doing that if they play a token, which is maybe not the most likely thing. Still might be worth keeping. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to save the other map for next turn, because I want to fix my draw. I want to fix the draw next turn. Please just make a token. Please make a token. I'm going to cast this first, so I can have 3 up for Normalize. Sure. Okay. Okay. You know what the other option is? The other option is push my own Supplier and try to find Scrapheap Scrounger. It's a bit sketchy, though. If they tuck the Supplier, I think I might push it. Yeah. It's unfortunate we can't get back Scrounger this turn, which we missed anyways. Couldn't just be 1 card deeper, huh? Couldn't just be 1 card deeper, huh? Maybe located the Scrounger. Scrounger secured. Man. Unironically, I want to draw a Fatal Push now. Weirdly enough, Fatal Push is one of my better draws right now. Which sounds kind of wild, but... because it just puts 4 power into play. Should have milled the rights. True, true. I mean, if I knew they had veto, I would have milled the rights. Oh, they had Sunfall. Okay. Cool. Alright, I can't do it. I can't do it, chat. You can't make me. I'm just too bored. I just can't do it. Alright, Thoughtseize me. Push out. Kaervek in. This, out. Done. Actually, we probably should play Pick Your Poison, right? Because they're playing blue-white, which means they have Rest in Peace and Locked. Alright, I will play first. I will keep. Augurin Triumph, what's that doing there? Nice mana base. Do I just take the only card they can cast? I mean, they're gonna draw lands, right? If they want to March pitch a card to kill my Tyvar, I think I'm okay with that. It's worse if they draw a blue source, or blue or white source, because they can just counter my Tyvar. Yeah, the lockdown's just too bad, I think. I'm pretty sure I have to take the lockdown. That card just exiles every card in my deck that is not named Tyvar. Snap minus. I have to minus now because of the stupid flanker. Alright, I mean, not in the worst spot. I wonder if they march this now. They probably are. Maybe they just pitch the Sunfall, question mark? Yeah, they pitch the Sunfall, makes sense. No land, please? Do me a favor one time. One-time blue-white player get punished. Love to see it. You really do love to see it. This is going to sound weird. I actually think I'm supposed to just go do this first. I think I'm not going to play the priest this turn. Because I can't get back the Forsaken Miner anyways. I guess I could get back the Scrapheap Scrounger, but I kind of like doing this, just going a little bit wider, getting in more damage next turn, and then I can go priest, sack these two, get this back, use the 2 black, use the 2 black, get this back, untap priest, do it again, yada yada. Okay, well, it's a little bit worse now that they found land for flanker. Okay, let's go to combat. I think I'm going to do this first. They're at 11. So, 2 mana. Oh, wait, if I play priest, they just no-moralize it. Right, that sucks. Do we just not play anything? Guess, is there a reason to play anything? Not really, right? I think we're fine. I think we can just chill. Because, like, I really don't want to just play into the no-moralize that I know about. And they're going to get my graveyard, but that's fine. Oh, they don't even exile the graveyard. I guess they just need lands that bad. Makes sense. But now we can protect the Tyvar by just trading here, which is good. I was going to say untapped land would be kind of nice. Yeah, this is probably worse. Well, no, it's fine, because I have the Supplier in the graveyard. Really? Huh. Okay, well now we just do this. Get back Supplier, hopefully mill a creature. Okay. And I think we're still in the holding pattern of just chilling. Just kind of pressure them with our, other stuff, and then eventually get to a point where we can cast Priest of Forgotten Gods. Like, when we draw out the 5th mana source to pay for No-moralize. Can't get this one back. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that first. I will pay to get this back, I think. Since if they no-moralize the priest... Or, sorry, if they no-moralize the Thoughtseize, I can then resolve the priest. Does that make sense? I mean, now I'm just going to do this and not play a spell. How did I not realize that, Exiles? This whole time. This whole time, huh? Just had no idea. Just not casting spells. Valarso, you're going to have to cast your spells. Oh, I know. I know. Valarso is scared. So afraid right now. He has no idea. Valarso has no idea what's about to happen to them. Not a single clue in the world. Opponent casts Sunfall. Opponent does not cast Sunfall. Well, I'm going to go to combat. You tell me what you got over there. Okay. Okay, Dovin's Veto, no-moralize, offline. God, am I 1 point short? Actually, no, I'm not. Because I can play second priest, right? I guess the question is, do I have enough mana to do all of this? Untap here. Yeah, we should have enough, right? Land. Priest. Dead. Okay. Game 3. Game tree. That was kind of nice. You would priest pre-combat. I guess that was probably fine too, right? Either way, I think either way works. Activating priest 3 times in the same turn is kind of fucked. This deck has some stuff going for it. A lot of cool synergies going on. Like Cauldron plus priest is kind of messed up too. Like that interaction is super sick. Is it an advertisement? It might be, I don't know. Yeah, that joke doesn't really hold up that well in 2024, you know? 'Cause, 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 ' 4-table hole. I have been put in the hole. Alright, roots me. Roots me. Opponent says, I counter your spell. Spell successfully countered. Where's my preview card? My preview card will be unveiled live on stream this Friday. Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Alright, so you're going to Sunfall me? It's kind of rude. Kind of hope it's Verdict and not Sunfall. But I have a sneaky suspicion it's, like, kind of annoying. Alright, -2. How many artists does my preview card credit? I'm not quite sure how to answer that question. Rest in Peace, huh? Rest in Peace is one of the cards. It is certainly one of the cards. Alright, plan located. I attack. I am simply going to cast my spells. That is what I have chosen to do this game. Cast my spells. It is your turn. It's just like, there's not a lot we can do against this. If they have this into Wrath, then good beats. Yeah. Could have maybe held back one of them, but realistically, it's like, if I play one and they red, they 4-for-1 me, I'm never winning this game. Okay. Gives me time, I guess. Yeah, maybe all the rats are on the bottom of their deck. That could happen. I found the lands. They're on 2 cards in hand. I don't know if they play Shark Typhoon, but holding this bet... Well, no, it doesn't play on Shark Typhoon, because I have to sack 2 things, right? So it doesn't even play on Shark Typhoon. Okay. Priest of Forgotten Gods. I guess I'm just looking for an answer for Rest in Peace. I'm taking a new leash on life, okay? I'm gonna make these blue-white players kill me. Every single one of them. If they're gonna choose to play this, you know, whatever you want to call this abomination, I'm gonna make them kill me. It's my revelation. I have a new outlook on life. Let me know how that goes. It's not going so well so far. I already kind of hate it. I kind of wish I didn't just say that. Attack Teferi, Hero of Dominaria with my creatures. Well, Chad, I didn't think we'd get this far. I mean, player on nothing. Your turn. I feel like if they had a Wrath, they would have cast it last turn. They're giving me hope. Stop giving me hope, Valarso. I don't want you to do this. I want you to just end it. Just get it over with. I know I'm dead. How's this deck running? Not great against control. I will say that much. Not the best against control. Yeah, I mean, if they don't have Wrath, we, like, maybe have a chance. Wish I had a companion. This is the one spot where Jeffrey, you know, Jeffrey would offer some moral support, but I left Jeffrey at home today. Deck needs decay. I mean, we have Pick Your Poisons, we just haven't drawn them yet. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. My recommendation against blue-white control is draw your sideboard cards. Also, maybe have them miss some land drops. All right, unfortunate ending to the league, but I don't know, this deck showed some promise. There was some things that I liked. The Satyr Wayfinders, I did add these to the deck, but they maybe felt a little bit clunky. From the initial list that I copied, that I stole shamelessly, by the way, I cut the Bloodsoak Champions, so perhaps you want to add some Bloodsoak Champions over these. I kind of like the Kaervek. I don't know if you should play 2 main deck, but like I could certainly see second Kaervek over Rutstein, just because Kaervek rebuying Roots, Deathrite, and Priest is pretty sick. Also in the sideboard games with Thoughtseize, it's very good. But other than that, deck felt pretty good. I think there is some things to be worked on. Yeah, it felt pretty powerful. So if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought down below. And until next time...